Okay, so 2019 is wrapping up, so like we always do, we got to do a Game of the Year video, and once again this year we're giving your choices as an Android Tools collective. And you guys, the community, thanks to the votes you submitted, we can all just blame each other, but really though, it's been a good year for video games. So me personally, all the games I played this year, I've been really satisfied this year. So yeah, enough talking now. Without further ado, let's get started. Starting off at number 10, we have Human Fall Flat. Now this is an unusual simulator that's built on physics. In this game, you need to help a clumsy character named Bob. Now the game begins with Bob falling asleep and having a strange dream, and he constantly flies down, and on the way, he meets various obstacles. So you're gonna have to solve a lot of puzzles, each which can be solved very individually. So it all depends on you. You can move objects, but be careful because any mistakes can take your character back to the beginning of the game. So, do you think you'll be able to reach the end to stop this strange dream? Moving on to number 9, we have Oddmar. Oddmar is an incredible adventure platformer game based on Scandinavian mythology. Here you have to play the main character, a Viking named Oddmar. This game's story takes place at a time where the forest fairy gave Oddmar a magic mushroom, which gave him magical powers. So you're waited for by more than 24 fascinating levels of full adventures, riddles, and puzzles. All of them are based on real laws of physics, and that makes the game even more interesting. Also, you're awaited for by fights with a set of fantastic beings, and at the end of each level, the boss, who'll come for you, is the real problem. Coming in at number 8, we have, of course, Raid: Shadow Legends. Raid is an RPG with turn-based combat mechanics, where you can control a group of legendary heroes and use them to save the planet, Teleria, from destruction. Now, to achieve this, you're gonna have to journey through dozens of different places, through which an epic storyline will gradually unfold. The combat system used in Raid is reminiscent of some of the greatest titles of the genre. On your turn, you can choose the type of attack or ability that each of your characters will use against your enemies, and keep in mind that the strengths and weaknesses of each team member differ. You can also combine your characters' attacks and deliver crushing blows. Next up at number 7, we have Dead by Daylight. Now this is of course one of the most iconic multiplayer horror games on mobile and PC and console. Just like those versions, you have 4 survivors, and the assassin is also player controlled. Everybody's player controlled. And the controls are really well adapted to touchscreens. The movement is the virtual stick that's located on the left side of the screen, and the action buttons are located to your right. Now, depending on whether you're in control of a survivor or the assassin, there are different controls available. Just like the other Dead by Daylight versions, you'll have your pick of different survivors and assassins. But that's not all. You can also equip your character with a bunch of different decorative elements that'll help you customize your character's look. Moving on to number 6, we have a Bright Memory Mobile. Bright Memory is a first-person action shooting game in which you can control different styles of special abilities and create a set of gorgeous combos with combinations of skills. It begins with a special adventure story of Sheila, of Natural Science Research Organization. Now, in 2020, SRO discovered material in ancient sword that could recall dead creatures during an investigation of cultural relics and crime. Now, if you own an iOS device and are interested in taking Bright Memory Mobile out for a spin, you can download it from the App Store as a premium game that costs $4. Meanwhile, the Android users will have to wait until later this month before they can get their hands on this game. Moving on to number 5, we have PES 2020. Now this is the latest version of the amazing Konami soccer simulator for mobile. Unlike other games with similar names, this time you can control every player on your team when you play matches, just like when you play on consoles and computers. With the previously mentioned game modes, the game will keep you entertained, don't worry. You can play in leagues, tournaments, exhibition games, and online challenges. You can even play against a friend via Bluetooth. Overall, it's an absolutely amazing soccer game that has fun gameplay, great graphics, several official licenses too. The only shame is that some great teams are notably absent. Next up at number 4, we have Black Desert Mobile. Black Desert is a 3D MMO that takes place in a colossal sandbox world where you can create your own character from the ground up. In fact, while you're selecting your character, you can customize it by picking from a huge variety of different variations for your avatar. Now, the combat system in Black Desert is just like the PC version. That said, this time around, things are far more dynamic than other titles in this genre. You can freely roam the battlefield, unleashing a different set of attacks, skills, and spells. And per usual, the higher you climb through each level, the more power you ultimately wield and more devastation you inflict. Also, I voice some of the NPCs in this game, so don't forget to collect your quests. Coming in at number 3, we have PUBG Mobile Lite. PUBG Mobile Lite is a tiny version of the legendary PUBG mobile game made specifically for smartphones and tablets that are lower on resources. So its compatibility suits more Android versions, and it weighs in at a much smaller size, so more devices now than ever can experience this exciting world of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Now, the game has the same gameplay as the rest of the games from this Battle Royale franchise. You fight to survive in a closed environment until there's only one player left standing, which is no easy task, but there's plenty of weapons, vehicles, and equipment you can use to battle other players and try to become the sole survivor. Next up at number 2, we have Grid Autosport. Grid Autosport was originally released in 2015 for PC and last-gen consoles, and represented an attempt by developer Codemasters to bring the series back towards a more authentic racing game. And even after just a few laps with a few different cars, I could see that Grid is indeed a demanding, realistic racing game that's going to challenge even the most experienced racing game players out there. Now, I've been playing around with different types of cars to get a feel of how they handle, and I've been pretty amazed at how differently each type of car drives. And the winner for the Android Tools game of 2019 is Call of Duty Mobile! Yeah! Okay, Call of Duty Mobile is the perfect complement to the console and PC versions. Now, this is the first installment of the Call of Duty saga for mobile that attempts to transfer the PC and game console gaming experiences to smartphones and mobile. And in other words, just like Modern Warfare or Black Ops, this is a multiplayer FPS in every sense of the word. The game includes 2 main game modes, Team Deathmatch and Battle Royale. Now, both are very popular modes in the franchise, and they challenge you to face other online players, as well as collaborate with them. Nuketown, Hijacked, or Kill House are just a few of the most popular maps that you can play in. And the game is constantly being updated for new modes, events, and bug fixes. So that's it, you guys. These are your selected top 10 best mobile games of 2019. Once again, I'm Sarah. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Happy holidays and Happy New Year's from Android Tools. Mwah.